From the beginning of time, humanity has carried one haunting question. How will it all end? Every civilization, every religion, and every generation has looked to the skies and wondered if there would come a day when the world as we know it would cease to exist. Ancient prophets spoke of fire and darkness, while modern scientists warn of climate collapse, artificial intelligence, and extinction. What if both are right? What if religion and science are simply two sides of the same truth? This is not just mythology or theory. This is the story of the end of times. Since ancient days, humans have been obsessed with the idea of the world's destruction. The Bible speaks of Revelation, the final battle between good and evil. The Quran describes Qiyamah, the day of resurrection. The Norse sagas call it Ragnarok, when gods themselves fall. And even today, scientists have their own name for it, the point of no return. Different cultures, different languages, yet one shared message, that all things, no matter how great, eventually come to an end. Thousands of years ago, prophets warned of signs that would signal this final age. They spoke of a time when truth would fade, greed would dominate, and humanity would lose its soul in the pursuit of power. They said knowledge would spread rapidly across the earth. People would speak to one another across vast distances, and nations would rise and fall faster than ever before. Think about that, centuries before the internet, before satellites, before global communication. These visions were already foretold. In the Quran, one prophecy speaks of shepherds competing in building tall buildings. In the book of Revelation, the Bible warns that there will be wars and rumors of wars, and that nations shall rise against nations. Look around today. Skyscrapers reach for the clouds. Wars rage across continents, and a hyper-connected world seems to drift further apart. But prophecy alone doesn't explain everything. Modern science has its own warnings, and they sound eerily familiar. Climate scientists caution that we are crossing irreversible tipping points, rising sea levels, melting ice caps, and extreme weather that could make parts of the Earth uninhabitable. Astronomers talk of asteroid impacts that could wipe out life in seconds. Artificial intelligence researchers fear the rise of machines that surpass human intelligence and could one day decide humanity is no longer necessary. Economists and sociologists warn of global collapse as greed deepens, inequality and resources vanish. It sounds like the plot of a dystopian movie, but these are peer-reviewed facts. And the more we learn, the more it feels as though prophecy and science are describing the same truth in different languages. Throughout history, every great civilization believed it would last forever, until the moment it didn't. The Romans, the Mayans, the Egyptians, all fell not because of a single disaster, but through a slow decay of values, greed, and imbalance. Perhaps the end of times is not one sudden apocalypse, but a gradual unraveling of the human spirit. A world where compassion fades, nature is consumed, and technology outpaces wisdom. It's not hard to see traces of that world today. Social media fuels division, truth is manipulated, and humanity becomes more connected yet lonelier than ever. Religious texts say that in the final days, people will chase wealth and power but forget their purpose. They will have knowledge but lack wisdom. Science too tells us that we are consuming Earth's resources faster than they can be replenished, that our oceans are dying, and our air is thick with what we've created. The parallels are undeniable. Both prophecy and science seem to agree that humanity is approaching the breaking point, not because of some external judgment, but because of our own actions. Yet, amid all this darkness, every sacred text also speaks of hope. Revelation ends not only in destruction, but in renewal, a new heaven and new earth. The Quran describes that after Qiyamah, justice will finally prevail and truth will return. Even science, in its own way, offers hope, the potential for innovation, for restoration, for a future built on awareness and change. Perhaps the end is not the final chapter, but the beginning of something greater, if humanity chooses to wake up before it is too late. Maybe the end of times isn't just an event waiting to happen. Maybe it is a mirror, reflecting who we've become and reminding us of what we've lost. The signs are around us, the warnings are written, and the choice remains in our hands. Will we continue on this path of chaos, or will we remember the balance our ancestors once spoke of? Every prophecy warns us, every scientific report reminds us, humanity is running out of time. As the earth warms, as conflicts rise, as truth bends, one thing becomes clear. The greatest danger isn't the asteroid, the machine, or even the apocalypse. The greatest danger is forgetting who we are, caretakers of this world, bound by conscience and creation. The end of times may not be a punishment. It may be a consequence. And whether it comes by fire, flood, or our own design, one truth remains. Humanity still has a choice. So as we look at the chaos of the world today, the floods, the wars, the rising machines, remember this: prophecy and science are not enemies. They are two voices echoing the same warning across centuries. One speaks in faith, the other in data. But both whisper the same truth: change or be changed forever. And maybe, just maybe, the end of times isn't about the world ending, but about us finally waking up.